हर्षित किसका डाउट था गिटहब का और क्या डाउट था?
They are asking to repeat the summary of the yesterday's session.
समराइज देखो
Yes.
आज वाले जो अभी CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट का पार्ट होगा उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम, उसमें कोई गिटहब का काम तो है नहीं. मैं काम करूंगा आफ्टर द जावास्क्रिप्ट पार्ट आई विल रिपीट द like I'll summarize the whole yesterday's session. Okay? Cool. Okay. और git किसका इंस्टॉल नहीं हो रहा था?
गिट इंस्टॉल हो गया था भैया, कल थोड़ा नेट स्लो था ना, वो कॉपी करने वाला पार्ट थोड़ा रह गया.
Please repeat. What did you say?
मेरा गिट इंस्टॉल हो गया था, कल थोड़ा लेट सुबह था, वो कॉपी वाला पार्ट नहीं था, हो सकता था.
अच्छा, जो रिपोजिटरी अपने लोकल मशीन में कॉपी करना वो चीज नहीं हो पाई थी.
हाँ.
द कमांड इज git clone. जैसे रिपोजिटरी जब तुम खोलते हो तुमको एक ऑप्शन दिखेगा ग्रीन कलर का कोड का. उस कोड पे जब तुम क्लिक करोगे तो एक लिंक आएगी नीचे, उस लिंक को कॉपी करना, देन टर्मिनल खोलना, उसमें एक कमांड होता है, आई एम राइटिंग द चैट बॉक्स. और एंड हर्षित ने एक लिंक भी शेयर करी है डाउनलोड, जिनका नहीं हुआ होगा. तो द कमांड इज git clone एंड पेस्ट दैट लिंक ओवर देयर, जो भी रिपोजिटरी की लिंक है. फिर वो तुम्हारी जो भी रिपोजिटरी है वो तुम्हारे लोकल मशीन, तुम्हारे लैपटॉप पे क्लोन हो जाएगी. ओके? ये चीज करी थी तुमने?
हाँ, यहाँ तो कुछ आगे हो रहा.
गिट क्लोन के आगे नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि गिट क्लोन तक गिट क्लोन भी नहीं हुआ था?
नहीं, यहाँ तक हो गया तो उसके आगे वाला पार्ट और थोड़ा कमांड भूल गए थे.
अच्छा. तो मैं समराइज करूंगा तो कमांड्स बता दूंगा एक बार, बाकी रिकॉर्डिंग्स विल बी अवेलेबल आफ्टर द सेशन, दोनों डेज की, तो एक बार उसको रिव्यू कर लेना. ओके. एंड गाइस अपने दोस्तों को बुलाओ, शेयर दिस लिंक. विल बी स्टार्टिंग बाय 7:15 or 7:20.
Guys, this session is going to be very fun and like very learnable. Like, so
Yes,
please
yes.
do share the link with everyone so that they don't miss anything. Otherwise, they are going to regret it afterwards.
आज भी किस होगा क्या भैया?
So Divya, the yesterday's HTML code is available on like our GitHub. We created a repository for that, and the code will be available for like after the session. We'll share the repo link in the chat box. You can check it out there. My social media will be shared by, I guess, Harshit. मेरा social media डाल दियो भाई chat पे.
Yeah, sure.
सो गाइस, कोई स्पेसिफिक डाउट्स कल के सेशन से रिलेटेड जिन्होंने पूछा है? गिटहब समरी और एक का गिट इंस्टॉल नहीं हो रहा था, इसके अलावा कुछ और? नो डाउट्स, सबका हो गया था. हर्षित सब टैलेंटेड है बहुत.
I know, bro.
हर्षित तुमको कितने दिन लगे थे गिटहब सीखने में?
More than 1 week actually. Actually, to understand the concepts of Git and GitHub.
फर्स्ट ईयर स्मार्ट है.
वो तो है.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Untitled Chapter, and I would like to welcome you all to day 2 of HACKTOBERFEST. I hope you guys had a fun time yesterday and are looking forward to today's events. Today, first up, we will have a fun CSS session by Aman Bhati. After that, we will have a demonstration of how to build a full front-end project mentored by Krishna. Following it up, we will be having a doubt session to make sure no query of yours goes unanswered. Now then, I would like to hand over the event to Aman for a CSS session.
Thank you, Arunapal. So, hello everyone. I'm Aman, and I'll be taking the responsibility of the project. So, first of all, do let me know by raising your hands how many of you are from the first year. Okay, we have Aditi, Rishita. Okay. Okay, so we have a few people from first year. And how many of you are from the second year? Okay. Cool. You can lower your hands. Okay, so what we did in yesterday's session was like we initialized our project. It was basically a password generator. So Preetham took our session on HTML and gave our project a basic structure of whatever like we are going to build. So now what we are going to do today is we'll give it our project basically styling and logic wala part. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use two languages for that. First of all, we are going to style our project using CSS. Basically, CSS is a styling language. What we do using CSS is like we style our project. Okay, and after that, Krishna will be taking over the part of JavaScript. We'll give the logic. We'll give our basic logic to our project. Okay, so like once again, please raise your hands for like किसको CSS के बारे में थोड़ा सा भी knowledge है. Please raise your hands. Okay, good population. Please lower your hands and like किसको like बिल्कुल स्क्रैच से सीखना है, like थोड़ा बहुत भी नॉलेज नहीं है. Please raise your hands. Okay, you can lower your hands. Like what I'm noticing is like there's majority of first years like who don't know anything about CSS. Like okay, so what we are going to do is like for the CSS part of the project, we'll take everything from the very basic. We'll use very basic CSS so that it will be like very easy for everyone to catch up with us. Okay, and for those who like don't like really know about CSS, is like what I am going to do is I'll be taking CSS very easily. We'll be using very simple concepts, and also I'm going to share resources for those who are willing to learn CSS. Okay, so first of all, let me share my screen. Do let me know if my screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's
Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll just simply go to our browser and we'll search here W3 schools CSS. Okay, so click on the first link. So what this website will do is basically give a complete tutorial. It will scratch from the very basic, from the very scratch, and it will take you to like till the very advanced. Like even it will include projects and stuff. So you can learn it from here. I'm going to share the link in the chat box. Okay. So now like jumping to the project, what we did yesterday was like we basically created an HTML file and initiated our project by simply giving it a structure. Let me show you the file that Preetham gave us. So this was basically the file which was given to us by Preetham. what we are going to do is like, first of all, take a look at the current project, the current status of the project. So this is the current project. So basically in this website, in the project, we only have a basic structure of the website. ठीक है, basically प्रीतम ने क्या किया, HTML यूज करके अपनी वेबसाइट को बस एक skeleton दे दिया. अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे, इसको स्टाइल करेंगे. ठीक है, and to style our project we use a language called as CSS. What CSS actually is? So first of all, do let me know in the chat box, किसी को CSS का full form पता है? Anyone?
Cascading style sheet.
Okay, right answer, Aryan. Anyone else? एक right answer तो पता चल गया, तो छोड़ो फिर. What I did yesterday was like I gave a hint. I wrote everyone, like every language full form in the chat box. Anyways, so like what we are going to do is we'll use CSS to style our project. Okay, so I'm going to start it from the very scratch for the beginners. Okay, so to like start up with CSS, what we are going to do is like we will see the ways how can we add CSS to our project. Okay, so there are basically two main ways to add CSS to our project. First way is very simple, like in the head section, what we are going to do is simply write style and create a tag called as style tag. Okay, so now every code of CSS that we are going to use will be inside of this style tag. Okay, so we are not going to use this way. We are going to use, instead of this way, we are going to use another way, which is like kind of very preferable. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'll create another file and I'll not here, inside current, we used Filema file as style and we use extension called .css. Okay, so this is the extension for our CSS file. Okay, so we created a file. Okay, and now every code that we are going to use, like every styling will be done inside of this CSS file. Okay, so to add this CSS, we are going to use a tag called as link tag. Okay, so simply write link in your head section, and then inside the double quotes of href, what we are going to do is simply write the address of this style file, like CSS file, inside of this double quotes. Okay, so simply just write style.css. So you guys may notice like where we have a emmet or called, we can also call it a shortcut. So like VS Code's speciality is like it recommends us shortcuts. Okay, this is the stuff with like modern code editors. That is why we are using VS Code. Okay, so now we'll simply click on it and we'll go to the style.css file. Okay, so now talking about CSS, how CSS actually works. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply like style the index.html file. Okay, so styling includes of three parts. Okay, first of all, we like simply select an element, we give it a property and we assign a value to the property. Okay, so how are we going to do it? Okay, let's just take an example. Okay, we have an element called as body. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply write body inside our file. Okay, and then we are going to use double quote, like curly braces, and inside these curly braces we are going to assign properties and then values to it. Okay, so like for example, I'm taking a very basic example. There's a property in CSS called as background color. Okay, so we'll simply write as background color. So this is basically a property called as background color, and now we are going to give a value to it. So we'll like simply give a color to it. I am giving Burleywood. You can use any color of your choice. Basically, I'm using a decent color. So what is going to happen in the project is simply we'll go live first of all.
Acha, Aman. Yeah, wait. Acha, everyone has the HTML code which was done yesterday. Is
We'll go live.
anyone?
Current status of the project. Okay.
Aman, wait a minute.
Okay, we'll check the project. So what happened in the project is like we simply gave our body a background color of Burleywood, and the whole website is now having a background color of Burleywood. Okay, this is very simple. Like we just simply need to assign a property to a basic element and we assign it a value. Okay, so now let's take a glance at like the final project that we are going to make. So basically this is the final project and this is the current project. Okay, so what we have in the final project is everything is aligned right in the center. Okay, and there's a bit of gap in like between every element, every form, input, everything. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply jump into the project. Like I'm going to take everything like I'll use very basic code. Okay, so even if you have doubts, like serious of your doubts, please write it in the chat box. We have a web team, they'll be answering your like queries. Okay, so now moving ahead, what I'm going to do is like minimize my window. You can also do that, both of the windows, so that I can take it parallelly, like the project and the code. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply, first of all, we need to align everything to the center. Okay, so we are going to use basically 3 lines of code to bring everything to the center. Okay, so please follow the shape. Okay, so first of all, we'll write a property called as display. We give it a value of flex. Okay, and then we give it a flex direction of column, and then the third line of code is align items to the center. Okay, so what is happening here right now? Okay, just take a look at it. We first gave it a display of flex, then flex direction of column, and aligned everything to the center. And now what is going to happen is, like, even if we change the size of the window, everything will be aligned right in the center. Okay, like what happens, like we use websites in multiple devices. We use it in laptops, on mobile phones, and like everywhere. Okay, so everything needs to be responsive. Okay, so what we did is like we aligned everything to the center, responsive of the window size. Okay, so we brought it to the center, and now what we are going to do is like simply give it a width of 100%. Okay, percentage is basically a unit for the width, and also in height of, let's say, 100 VH. VH is also a unit. Okay, now moving ahead, everything is aligned to the center. Okay, we are done with this part, and then what we are going to do is like we need spaces between these inputs. Okay, so instead of like taking every input, like selecting every input, what we can do is simply bring everything in a bring all the inputs in a particular class, or like in a div, and we can style it all together. Okay, it will be like very time like securing. So what we are going to do is simply go to the HTML file and look at what we have. Like these are the inputs. Okay, these inputs are like written over here. Okay, what we are having here is like we have written everything inside of a particular div. Okay, and we gave it a name as inputs. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll select this element and then we are going to style it. Okay, so it is having a class. Okay, to like style a selector like an element with a class is like we need to follow a procedure. Okay, what we are going to do is simply write dot and the name of the class. Okay, and then curly braces. Okay, and then we are going to simply style it. And again, this is the final project, this is the current project. In the current project, we don't have everything aligned to the center, and in the final project we will have to align everything to the center. Okay, so again we are going to use the same line of codes like display, flex direction, and align items to the center. So let's just do it. First of all, what we are going to do is use display of flex. We'll use flex direction of column, and then we'll align everything to the center. Align items to the center. So now look at it. We use display flex direction column, and aligned everything to the center. So now all the inputs are aligned to the center. Okay, and again we are going to give it a width and height. First of all, let us give it a bit of gap, right? In the final project, we have a gap between every input. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply write that gap, and gap is a property, okay, in CSS. And what we are going to do is simply write 1, and we write rem. Rem is basically unit. We can use like there are a few units like rem, em, pixels. It is completely up to you what units you are going to use. But for me, I mostly prefer to use rem because it is a smaller unit. Okay, so again, like we give it a gap. Okay, and then we are going to give it a width of 100%. like using width of 100%, what we are going to have is like width of 100% inside of this div. Like this was a complete div, okay, and like इस div के अंदर ये जितने भी inputs हैं वो 100% width ले लेंगे तुम्हारे इस कंटेनर के अंदर, ठीक है, लाइक कंटेनर में डाल दिया मैंने उसको, ठीक है, वो बेसिकली सिर्फ स्पेस ले लिया, बट हमने उसको width अगर 100% दे दिया है तो div के अंदर 100% का width लेगा, ओके, एंड ऑल्सो हाइट ऑफ 100%, ताकि वो div को उस कंटेनर को completely ऑक्यूपाई कर ले, ओके, सो वी गिव इट 100%, okay, like yeah, almost there. This is the final project. Now we are going to move ahead to this button, okay. So in this button what we have is like we have a background color of black and the font inside is like white and like
Aman, excuse me, Aman.
हाँ बोलो.
Sorry for interrupting. Aryaman has a doubt. Like display flex से क्या हुआ एक बार फिर से बता दो, so please.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. So look, Aryaman, what we did is like we use 3 lines of code. Okay, display of flex. We gave it a flex direction of column and align items to the center. Now we don't use like our website in a single device. We use it in multiple devices. Okay, and also the window screen is like not limited always. Okay, so what like even if I change the size of the window, everything is aligned to the center. This is done by the flex. Okay. We use flex and everything is aligned to the center because of this property called as aligned items. Okay, I hope your doubt is clear. I'll be moving ahead. Like I'll be taking doubts at the end of the session, so don't worry. I'm like speeding up because we have limited time. Now we also need to jump to JavaScript color session, which will be taken by Krishna. So like moving ahead, we are going to style the button. Okay. So first of all, what we are going to do is पहले देख लेते एक बार बटन को कोई क्लास दिया हुआ है अगर तो okay, so there's this button. We have a class given to it, but if we did have a class, we would simply just like select the button and like style it. But we have a class. We are having a class right here. Okay, so what we are going to do is select this class. To select a class, as I said, first of all, dot generate name of the class, and now we can style it. Okay, so first of all we need to like give it a width of 100%, like we'll give it a width. Okay, like this is having a huge size, like बहुत बड़ा width है इसका height भी ज़्यादा है. Okay, so what we are going to do is simply give it a width of 100%. Now what will happen is like इस generate.btn नाम की जो div थी उसके अंदर ये बटन है ना पूरा width ले लेगा, जितना भी इस div का साइज था ना वो सारा ले लेगा, ठीक है. So width of 100% will give it a width of like complete. Okay, and now we are going to give it a height. Really, I'm using a unit called as rem. I'm giving it 2 rem. Okay, so the height is like enlarged. Okay, again, इसके बाद what we are going to do is simply please like take a look at the border. It is like completely like it is a bit circular. Okay, so what we are going to do is like use a property in CSS called as border radius. Okay, and we'll give it a value of 0.6 m. I'm again using a different unit which is m. M is basically a smaller unit of rem. Okay, and then we are going to give it a background color of black. So we gave it a background color of black, but the text inside of this button is like not visible right now. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll give a different color to the font. Okay, so to do that we have a property called as color. We simply use that property and give it a value of white. Okay, so now the text we have inside of this button is white. Okay, and now moving ahead, like the text inside this button is like kind of elongated and bold. Okay, so we'll change it now. So to enlarge the font size, we are again going to use a property called as font size, and we'll give it a value of, let's say, 1 rem. 1 rem is like kind of enough. So like we have a bigger font size right now, and then we'll like use bold. We'll like bolden it. Okay, to bolden it, we'll use a property called as font weight. Okay, so font weight की value like यहाँ पे तुमको emit में आ जाएगी. तो I'm going to use let's say 500. Okay, थोड़ा और बड़ा है. I change it to 600. Okay, so it kind of looks similar right now. And then what we are going to do is like border यहाँ पे white दिख रहा है, ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा चेंज करना होगा. So by default क्या होता है ना, अगर हम लोग border को अगर like change नहीं करते हैं तो simply white रहता है. तो what I'm going to do right now is simply write border. Okay, so now kind of looks almost similar. The only thing remaining right now is there's a bit of gap between these two stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is again I'm going to use a property called as margin. Okay, what we are going to do is we'll have a space between password length and generate password button. We are going to use a property called as margin. Margin crop का ले रहे हैं ना, इसलिए we'll write crop and we'll give it a value of 1 rem. Okay, so we almost have like we kind of have the project almost styled, complete the project, and now we are going to like take a look. We'll have a summary of what we have done till now. Okay, so first of all what I did was like selected first of all selected an element that was body. Okay, we gave it a background color of burley wood. Okay, use the property called as background color and gave it a value, and then what we did is like we brought everything to the center and in such a way that everything is always aligned to the center even if the window size is changed. Okay, so we brought everything to the center using display flex direction column and aligned items to the center. Okay, and then we gave it a width of 100% and height of 100 bh so that this takes up 100% width inside the div. Okay, inside the div there would be a like parent div, like it will take 100% width there. Okay, and moving ahead what we did is like we brought everything to the center, the inputs to the center. To do that again we use the same line of codes, display flex direction of column, like bring it column wise and align items to the center, and everything was brought to the center. Okay, and then we needed a bit of gap here, so we used a property called as gap and gave it a value of 1 rem. Okay, this gave it a bit of gap, and then what we did is like we were having this inside of a div. Okay, and it was having a class called as, what is it, it had a class of inputs. Okay, so what we did is we simply selected this class and we styled it. Okay, and everything would be like this height and 100% width. What this would do is like bring every input, like give every input 100% height and 100% width inside that particular div. Okay, like now all the inputs are aligned to the center with a bit of gap. It is kind of looking decent. And then what the last step was, like we simply styled the button. Okay, what we did is like we gave it a class called as, ये उसका नाम था उस क्लास का, देखो यहाँ पे सिंपली एक बटन था. ठीक है, एज आई सेड हम लोग सिंपली बटन यूज करके भी कर सकते थे, उसको सिंपली सेलेक्ट करते बटन को, वी कैन स्टाइल इट. ओके, बट व्हाट वी डिड is like we gave it a class, and then in the style.css file we like styled it using .generate.btn, and then we styled it. Okay, so this was this button was inside this div. Okay, so we gave it 100% width so that it occupies 100% width inside of that div. Okay, so now we gave it a height of 2 rem. 2 rem is basically a small unit, so like it gave it a height, decent height, and then we were having pointed borders. So what we did is like kind of circular border de di isko, that was like 0.6 m. M is also a smaller unit. Like to deal with smaller details we use m and rem. You can also use pixels, but I mainly prefer to use rem and ems. Okay, then we gave it a background color of black. Okay, when we gave a background color of black, the text was like completely gone, so we gave it a font color of white. Okay, and then we elongated the font size by giving it a value of 1 rem, and then थोड़ा bold करना था इसको, तो we use the property called as font weight and उसको value दे दिए 600 again, then border of none so that उसका border थोड़ा blackish नजर आए. Okay, and फिर again margin top का दे दिए इसको 1 rem. Okay, so we have almost completed we have completed the CSS styling वाला part. Okay, so now we'll be moving ahead to मार्जिन टॉप से क्या हुआ एक बार फिर से बताना. ओके, एक मिनट, आई एम रीशेयरिंग माय स्क्रीन. देखो मार्जिन टॉप ने क्या किया ना, बेसिकली ये बटन था. ठीक है, अब ये बटन यहाँ पे एकदम लाइक एक बार इसको हटा के देख लेते हैं मार्जिन वाले इसको प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, देखो मार्जिन टॉप हटा देंगे ना, तो इस दोनों के बीच में कोई गैप नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है, बेसिकली जो काम यहाँ पे गैप कर रहा था ना, वो काम यहाँ पे ये मार्जिन ऑफ टॉप करेगा। क्यों? हम लोग गैप भी यहाँ पे यूज कर सकते थे, लेकिन यहाँ पे काइंड ऑफ एक ही एलिमेंट है जो है हमारा बटन। ओके, तो इसको टॉप का ही मार्जिन देना था, बेसिकली टॉप में ही गैप चाहिए था। व्हाट वी डिड इज लाइक वी गिव अ मार्जिन ऑफ टॉप ऑफ वैल्यू ऑफ 1 rem. ओके, I hope it is clear. So we'll be moving ahead to the JavaScript part. It will be taken up by Krishna, I guess. And about the doubts, we'll be having a doubt clearing session at the end. Okay, so please stay tuned. And like for the resources to learn CSS, if you are willing to learn CSS, I have dropped it in the chat box. I'll re-drop it again so that you can check it out. Just a minute.
You guys may follow Aman on his LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, please feel free to like connect me. I'll be very frank. I'm good at taking notes. I tried my best to solve everyone's query. So you may connect on to me on like social media and stuff. Okay. So Krishna, आगे कौन ले रहा है?
Krishna ले रहा है. Krishna will be there.
Hello
It's
everyone.
over to you, Krishna.
Hello, Krishna. Are you there?
Yes. Can you listen?
So you can take up the JS part of the event.
Yes. Sure.
Okay. Over to you, Krishna.
Hello everyone. I'm Krishna, backend developer at MSC. So Aman explained the CSS part, and now I'm going to explain the JavaScript part of the project. So let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes, screen is visible.
So this was the part done by Aman, and this was done by Preetham. So first of all, let's start with the basic of JavaScript. So you can run JavaScript in browser. So like Python or any other language, you don't need any compiler or any interpreter to run JavaScript. If you have any browser like Chrome, Safari, or Firefox, anything, then you can run JavaScript. So first of all, we will run JavaScript in the inspect element. So you can open it by here in the inspect section, then go on the console. So let's start with writing a simple hello world program. In JavaScript is very easy, so you don't need to write any function or any main function like in C. So you can directly write console.log and what you want to print. So here we want to print hello world. So as you can see, it printed this hello world. So JavaScript, this was run directly in the browser, but there is extension that can run it in VS Code directly. So you can check your code is correct or not. So this was the extension. QUOKAJS. So you can run JavaScript in this VS Code terminal. So this now this will get executed as we write the code. So so let's write the hello world code here also. Console.log and so this one prints directly here, so you can see the output what you are getting. So this is like a print statement in Python or anything. You can print anything here. You can write variables, you can write object, everything. So let's start with basics. So first of all, we use const or let to define variable in JavaScript. So there is a difference between const and let. So like your name is my name is Krishna. So const name equals to Krishna. So this is the variable name, and this is the actual value that the variable is storing. Same goes with the let part. So you can write let name using let anything and use let here. The main difference between this const name Krishna and let name Krishna is that you can't change this one, but you can change the let part. You can try it, like I can change name equals to anything. So this is giving me an error like assignment to constant variable. You can only define it once and it can't be changed later. But we can change this let variable, like you can change anything you want, but it won't give any error. So in JavaScript, there are 3 or 4 things you can use, like const, simple like string equals to, like this is a string. You need this quotation mark in this string, and like numbers, const number equals to 95 anything, and you don't need any quotation mark for this number or anything. You can also declare like this one boolean, or you can const simple array. You can make a array like this, and you can add element using commas. Also, one thing to remember, like this is an array. So in computer science, the index starts from 0. So what is this one is on the 0th index. This 3 is on the first index. This 4th is on the second index. Same goes with a string. This k is on the 0th index of this string. This r is on the first index of this string. So you can say like I want to print, so console.log, I want to print this array, and I want to print only this first part. So what I can do is this and 0. So this will print 1. If I do 3, 2, 4, like 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, it prints 5 like that. Same goes with the string. In JavaScript, it's not hard like C, so you can directly use it as an array. So what I did is copy this one and this. So see this will print k, because k is in the 0th index. Like I want to print the last one, so what I can do is write 6. So it is printing the last index, -1. Okay. Like if goes out of range, it will print undefined. So you can also print numbers and everything here, like you can print numbers. So these are the simple things. And one more thing is object. So object is like a key value pair. So you have to write a key name like key1 and what is the value of that key. So you can write Krishna. So what it means is there is an object with a key with a value Krishna. So it can store many values, like I want a key2 with a value Naman. So you can store many values, and if you want to access them, like if you want to print them, so if you print the whole object, it print the whole object. You can see the general output here. It printed the whole object for me. You can also copy and paste it in the browser. Like if you paste it here, it will also print the same thing. Like you get the key1 with a name Krishna, key2 with a name Aman. Also, if you want to access this key1 or key2, then you can directly use a dot key1. So this will print Krishna, or if you print key2, then it will print Aman. Or you can also add a function and anything here. So let's do a simple thing. Let's write a function. So to write a function, JavaScript, you can also write like this, a function, name of the function, name of the function, anything, and with this bracket and a curly brace. And you can write what the function does here. Like
Excuse me, Krishna. एक बार चैट बॉक्स देख लो, या फिर एक आर्यमन का डाउट है, ये ऑब्जेक्ट को फिर से एक्सप्लेन करना प्लीज. ये एक बार फिर से कर दो शॉर्ट में.
ओके सो देखो ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है ना, ये तो अपना हो गया सिंगल चीज जिसमें नेम है, तो स्ट्रिंग हुआ तो उस पे अपना स्ट्रिंग प्रिंट कर दिया. लेकिन if you print the number, then it will print this one exactly. Boolean will print true or false, and you can write anything here. It doesn't matter. So I can write here. So now what an object is, it can store the key value pairs. Like you are in a class, so I can make a const class object. So this is a class like your class, like you are in B13. So I can make a B13 object with all the students. So I can do is like roll number 1 has the name Krishna, and roll number 2 has name what anything like array, Rajiv or anything. So, and if you want to access anything, you can directly do console console.log, and like this one, this is the object name, and this one is the object name. It will print the whole object at once. Like this is the object. We use this curly braces. This is the value. Like it can be number, it can be anything. It can be if you want your name. So if you want your name would be the key of an object. So you can write Krishna here, and you want whole different object here. You can make an object with Krishna also. Like if you like Krishna and it is and put it he's like a monitor, and second one is you can write anyone that wrote it, and he is a student or anything. You can write like this, and if you want to access it, if it is a number or it is a string, then you can use a single word, or if like this is a string, then you can also write like this, and you can use this one. It printed monitor. So if you want to use p13 as an object, so this is an object and this is inside the object. So we are accessing a property inside this object p13, or you can directly use it like this. Krishna, it will also print the same thing, but if you have spaces, then it won't work. That's why we use this and use the name Krishna, then it will print it as a monitor. Or you can also make a nested object, like this is an object and this object also has an object with name Krishna, or like page 13. So now if we use p13.krishna, now it will print a whole new object like this. p13 is an object, this one from here to here, and Krishna is the key name, which is an object that store name and age of Krishna. So if we print p13, then it will print like Krishna. Krishna has a name and an age. And if you want to see only in Krishna, then p13.krishna. Now it will print p13 Krishna has a name and an age. And if you want to access only name, then easily .name. So it will print this one. If you want to access the age, then you can do like this, p13.krishna.age. b13, an object, name of an object, Krishna. It is also an object with a name field and an age field. So you can use name or age. It will print a different thing. What is the value of that key exactly? So we will be using it in future, but I guess we won't use it right now. Also, you can do everything I'm doing here in this console part of the browser. Every browser contains this. So you can use anything, you can write. This is many built-in function like clear, st, clean, or console.log prints with this one, or also console dot. If when you put a dot, it will show many things like these. These are the all built-in methods you can use. So like if you want to print an error, so you can use console.error, and this is the message of the error. This is the error. So it print like an error. Like you can see, this is a console.log. So it printed like a normal log file. But in this one, this is an error. So it printed red, and it is like an error. There's also a console.bond, which will print in yellow font. So it will print this in yellow. So this shows that it is an
Excuse me, Krishna.
Yes.
Please be louder.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. So let's get started with this one. So first of all, we want a password generator. And we have given the option to include numbers, include symbols, include uppercase, or include lowercase. So first of all, we need all these 4 values that we will be using. So let's go to our file. So we don't have a file right now. So we will create a new file. script script.js. It is not required to name it script. You can name it whatever you want. And like we included the CSS part in the head, because CSS should be in the head, because when the browser is loading this page, it will load from top to bottom. So first HTML will be loaded, and then because CSS is in the top, then CSS will be loaded. So whenever the site is refreshed, you will first see this one will come, then this one, then styles, and it will become in middle and everything. But if we include the Java, it is not recommended to include the JavaScript in the top, because JavaScript file may become very large, and it may slow the website function. So user will see a loading screen without any HTML. That's why we include the JavaScript in the bottom. So anywhere you want, like here I imported the JavaScript. So there is a script tag, so you can simply write script, and this will print script tag. And also if you use this src and enter, it will print the whole thing like script with a src means source of the file. So to add the source of the file, we will using dot and a hash, this one. So it shows all the file in the current directory. So we want script.js, but what if we want, we made a JS folder, and we put our script file in this JS folder. So we will add just showing the current directory. So this is the current directory dot and slash, and there is a JS folder inside it which has a script.js inside it. So let's remove it right now and make it as it was. So this one tells that the HTML file that this is the file of the JavaScript file, and we have to include it. So we have our JS file included. So let's do a simple console.log JS file. Now when we refresh it, it directly prints this JS file, what we have written here, because it is the first line, so it will continue to print till end, and it is the first line. It got printed as we refresh the page. And if you make a function, it won't get printed or do anything until we revoke it. So first we made a so we made, this is the on click, this is a method that we use. This is the event actually. So this is an event that we have, what we say, the button gave us that there are many methods. One is on click method, and one is on hover and mouse over and on change. So this is the on click method. That what it is doing is running the generate password function. So but we don't have any function right now, so we will make this function generate password. So to make a function, we simply const name of the function equals to and this arrow function. So okay. So right now see this is the script with this was the button class, which have a generate button written on it, and on click function generate password, which we made it here. You can see it in the elements tab. This is the h1 and this is the labels. This was the password length, and it was okay, and this was the button. So our button has a on click method of generate password, and we have to make this function that will generate the password here. So right now added yes.
Krishna, just move a bit slower so that everyone understands.
Okay. Okay. So this was the button that we want to click, and it should generate the password. So when we click it, we want that this one should invoke, and we made this function here. So let's try to run the function. Let's make a function do a simple thing. Console.log button voice click, like generate button and generate password. D10 voice click. So whenever we click this button, it will print generate password button as clicked, or we can simply add a alert message. Yeah. So it will generate an alert like this, generate password button was clicked. So now we know this, how to use this button. So this is a simple HTML button, which has this onClick method, which is running this function that we defined in the JavaScript file. So let's get started with making this function actually work. So we know that we have a password list. We have to generate a password which will include numbers, simple, uppercase, and lowercase letters. So first we will write all the uppercase symbols and uppercase letters like this. Fonts, lowercase. Okay, lowercase letters. These are all the lowercase letters, and we have to count uppercase letters. Also, remember this in JavaScript, we use this one. This is called camel case. So the first letter will be small, the second letter will be capital, and after that, every letter will be capital. But the first letter will always be small, like this lowercase. So lower is small, and if case C is small, like in this button, you can see G is small and password is greater, and also generate password button like this one. So first is small, rest everyone is bigger. We got the uppercase, we got the lowercase, and now we made the SYM symbols. So I'll write some random symbols. So I write some random symbols that we will be using in our password. Also, we need numbers. So these are the numbers from 0 to 9. This is the lowercase letter, this is the uppercase letters, these are the symbols. So let's leave them here. And now we need one more thing. We need to access this one. How do we know that this one is clicked or this one this isn't clicked? So we will need to use a JavaScript function like this. First is include numbers. So we want that include numbers is clicked or not. So we will make a has variable has numbers, and then now we will use document. So this is the whole HTML tree. This contains the whole HTML part. Like I will this. So this is the whole document, like from doc type HTML to the HTML. It contains all the functions. It contains every tags and everything in it. So now we want this document. This is a auto-defined thing. You will get this whenever you use JavaScript. So now we want to get what? This one. So there is a div. This is the input. This is the label of that input, and we want that we get this. This has an ID of include numbers, so we can access it by the ID. So it has a function. You can see it has many methods and properties. So one of the method is get element by ID. Get element by ID. Get element by ID. Now I want this one. So get element by ID and the name of the ID. Like this one, include numbers is the ID that we put it in this one. So we added the ID. Now we will try to print it first, see what it has. So console.log. So we will print it. Now what this function will do, first of all, this will generate this variables, then it get has number document dot this whole tag, then we will print it. So we go to console, we click generate password. So you can see it printed the whole input box. You can see when I hover over it, then it is showing it here. So now we want if it is checked or not. So if we have a simple, what did I say, simple method, simple property of it, it is checked or not. So we will simply add a dot checkv check. CKV check. So now this will give a true or a false. So has number equals to document document is the object of the whole HTML tree inside this browser, which include everything like this heading, this icon, everything we can see here, including all CSS and everything. So this has also has a method named, okay, so first of all, what is a method? So when this is an object, so everything is in JavaScript, everything is object, like everything, array is object. This document is also an object. So this object has a method. So this function is called method, and if it does, like this one is the property of this method, like this is the method and this is the property. So check property. Now we will print this one. So it is giving false, and when we click on it, it will start giving true. So now we know that include versus false. So same goes with everyone. We will copy and paste 4 times. Have members. That's why I'm let's have symbol. Has uppercase, has lowercase. So also include symbol. Will go here. Include uppercase. Will go here. Include lowercase will go here. So let's see, first we print everything and see if it is really working or not. So to print, we will simply print everything, has numbers. Yeah, so has number, has symbol, and so let's take the first two, then click generate password. So it is true, false, false, because the first two is clicked and the second last two is false. Also, we can try differently like this. So it is true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. So now we got the value that it includes number, includes the symbol, it has uppercase letters, it has the lowercase letters or not. And also, what we will do when we generate the password, we want to show it here. We want to show it here. That's why Preetham added this one. Added an empty p tag, like this is an empty paragraph tag. It don't need to be a paragraph. It can be a div, it can be a heading, it can be anything, but this is a paragraph with a ID generated password. So let's try to use this one. So first we will use this tag. So what we will do is it's the const password, not a div, a password box equals to get element by ID, and the ID is generated password. So we will get this. This tag. So let's write something here. Like I rated a hi, so it is printing here hi, and now we will try to print it. Console.log password box. So this is the password box, and when we click on here, so this one is now it printed the whole tag that contains this hi and generate password ID and everything. So we can access this one also. So let's try to get the inner HTML, only the inner HTML. So we can access the inner HTML by adding a property dot INN inner HTML. Okay, inner HTML will get the HTML, but we want a text because this one is a simple text. So we will use inner text. And same, we will click on generate password. So now you are getting this one here with JavaScript. As you can see, it is printing 6 times high because I clicked it 6 times. So now let's try to change it. Now, because when we generate the password, we need to change this to our password. So let's change it. So we want it changed to, like, first of all, we will change it to some dummy word like password box equals to hello. And when we, okay, so we won't use here. We will use password box.innerHTML equals to hello. So when we, so as you saw it, when you click on the button, what JavaScript is doing is, because we are not using it right now, but these are only defined. So what JavaScript is doing here, we are getting the password box, which is this p tag, then it is changing the password box dot inner text, which is this hi, and it is changing it to hello. We can change it to anything, so we will change it later with our original password. So let's generate the password. So for making a password, first we will make a password variable which will be empty right now. A password variable which will be empty. Now we also want to know that if it is checked or not. So we will add a right now we have all symbols and letters and numbers, but we don't know what we will be using right now to make this our new password. So we will make a simple like to use char, anything to use char. It is empty right now, and we want that user will check, like if user will check numbers and symbols. So what should happen is that this should be copied here, and also this should be copied here. So we have a long list of string that we can generate a random character from. So right now we will leave it empty. Now we will add a simple if a condition. In JavaScript, to add a if condition, we can simply add a if, then like has number. So it is giving true or false. So if it is true, then this will run. Like I can show you this one. Console.log. Console.log has number is checked. Has number is checked or anything, or so when we will click this one, so it is printing has number is checked, and if we don't click it, it isn't printing. I will clicking, but it isn't printing, and as soon as I click it, it will print. So what is happening is when we click this button, this function is invoked and it goes to this loop and check if this is true or false. And if this is true, then this will run, else it will go to the next line, which is this one. So with this, like same like this, we will add 4 conditions: has number, has symbols, has uppercase, has lowercase. And what we want is to add every character that is checked to our to use character variables. So to do that, we will simply so I explained right now that we can't use const to if we want to change it. So if we right now if I want to change equals to anything like has numbers, so numbers equals number, so it will give an error because this is a const and we can't change const, so we have to use let. Also here, because we using password as empty string right now, and we have to add in the bottom, we have to define change it to the original one, so it can't be changed because it is const, so we use let here. But these are all constant because we are not going to change any of them. So what this means is, I will show what this means. I will open a simple JavaScript, we will copy it, and I'll show you what that means. So like this, you can see if I do console.log lowercase, it printed the lowercase letters. But if I added plus, then uppercase. So what it did is it concat the string. It concat the whole string to one. So it becomes a large string with all the small letters and the upper letters. And same if we add the symbols, it will add symbol at the end. Also, if we add numbers, so it will numbers. If it will become a large string with all the uppercase, lowercase symbols and password. And we want variables. We want a variable anything that will tell us that if user is selected the lowercase, then it will be there, and if it user selected the uppercase, then it should be here. If user don't selected the symbol, so it shouldn't be there, and we will get a simple long list of characters that we will be using, like this one. So what I have removed uppercase numbers. So in for example, if the user selected these three, it includes number, it includes uppercase, it includes lowercase, and we make const s equals to lowercase plus uppercase plus number. So this is a long list of string that the user want to include in our password, because because we didn't include the symbol, that's why there is no symbol in this long list, in this long string. So same thing we are doing here. We are checking if it has a number, then increase this one with what it is doing is filling this use selector with all the numbers. Same we will do with symbols and symbols, symbols, case is also with lowercase. So first of all, are there any problem or anything on anything? Won't understand anything? Okay. So so we got our password. We got our character that we are using in the password. So let's try to print it what we are using if we included the numbers. Hello. Okay, so like this one, we generate the password. So it is showing all the numbers and all the symbols. If we include the uppercase, then this long list will include all the numbers, all the symbols, and all the password. Also, if we include lowercase, then it will include everything. Like if we remove this part, then it will get all the uppercase, lowercase, and the numbers. So we are getting a string that has everything the user has selected. Also, we want this one also, no? What is the password of the what is the password or that user want, length of the password that user want. So length GTH length of the password equals to document.object.id, and we will select where is our password field, password length. So this is our password length input ID. So this is the input where we will be getting the password by the user, this one. So we added here password length. TTH. So this is the password length, and to get the, because these were checkboxes, that's why we are using checked option. But this one is a value. This we will get a number as a value. So we will use simple dot value. So this is the length of the password. So let's print what the user has checked right now. So console.log length of the password. So if I included 300, password should be of 30. It should include symbols, include uppercase and lowercase. So it printed the this one. Length of the password is 30, and these are the symbols that we will be using. So let's generate the password. Now we will generate a password. So we know that it should be of 30 characters. So we will run a simple for loop with 30 characters. A simple for loop. So let I equal to 0. So first one is like it is defining that this is a this is a variable defining it is 0. Then the second one we will write the condition. So here you initiate the variables, then a semicolon, then the condition. It should be smaller than the length of the password. Length of the password. then semicolon, then the execution, then what will be run after it will run 1 times. So I wanted to increase I. So what it is doing is declaring a variable I which has 0. Then this one is the condition that I want. Like this one is, if this is the password of length of the password is 15, then I want to run this one till I plus we do the I plus plus. So we want to check and run this whole for loop till the password of, if it is 15, then I will become, when I will become 15, the loop will be end. So this one will run for 15 times. I can, like, I will print I. So you can see when I 20 times. So you can see it will print 0 to 19. So 20 characters. And because I write 0 here, that's why it is printing 0 to 19. So now I want my password. So we can directly use the password here. Password equals this password area. Now also I want to show something. There is a function, predefined function in JavaScript, maths. So you can use it for many things like maths. Or okay, so here are the functions that it gets. Match.ease, it will give a value of E, or you can see what it does. This will give logs and pi, a value of pi. These are the functions that it provides. But we will be using a random function that will generate random numbers. Random. So we will call the function. So as you can see, it generates a random value. But this is from, it will generate from 0 to 1. You can see here, returns a number between 0 and 1. So, but we want a number between what the user given the password list. So if user want 10, so if I give 10, it will generate. See, you can, if I like 10 times, then you can see every time it is between 0 to 10. So this one will be the number that the user input as the length of the password. So right now we will think, let's think the user entered the length of the password as 10. Then the password length can't be 6.93. So we have to convert it into integer. So like proper without any decimal. So there is also a function in maths, and it is maths dot float. Now what it will do, it will make it a normal integer. So you can see it generates a simple 6 to till 10. You can see it generate every time I refresh, it generates 8, 4, 6, and everything between 0 to 10. 0 to 10, random numbers between 0 to 10. So we will be doing same here, because we want the random passwords between this where it goes, these 2 character. So use the 2 character dot. Okay, so one more thing, character art is also a function. So we will go here to const Krishna, const name equals to Krishna. So name dot character art. So if we write the 0, so dot log. So you can see it gave us k, and because of this, it gave us k because k is the first. It is in the first index. If we write 2, it will give I. So on. Like if we give 6, so we can use this one also, or we can directly use our old method, this bracket method. It will also give the same result. So our password will be to character password equals to 2. So we want to generate a random. We will copy it here to show the live. Yes. So first of all, we will copy this one because we want the password, this random number between between this index, so we can generate a random password there. So and also this one should be length of this to use character. So I will explain this one. So what it is doing is we will use the random number, but we will use it between what is the total character that user has given. If it's selected 5, then we want a random character between that number. Okay, so I will print it here. Comment it out and console.log to use character. So you can see it printed a long number like 26 plus 26. So the total length of this one is 26 plus 26. And also we want a random number, but we don't want to go out of index. We want to go from 0 to the total length of this whole character. So if we do length, this is also a property of string. You can use it in any string you define. So this one is a string, and so it has a length property. We use to use character dot length. So it right, if we include symbols and uppercase, so it will give 46. So the length of this character, this whole to use character is 46. And right now we want any of the random number between this 46. So this is the list. This is the length of the list. I will show you what I was trying to do. Const to use cat. This was the variable we were defining. Like, and if the include symbol and uppercase is checked, this is what we get in the to use character value, and we will use this to length. So now you can see it is every time it is generating a number between dot log use character. So length of this one. So as you can see, the length of this is 46, and this one is printing number between 0 to 46. So every time it is giving a number between 46. So what we will do with this 30 or in this random number is we use it to get this one a single character out of it. So like this one. So we can make this one is 30, this one is 42, this one is 11, this one is 41, this one is 26, right? Like that. And we can use index to get it out. Like we use console.log to use character, and dot character at like 40, like same as ever. So like this time it gives 5. So it is giving me a random symbol from this one. And if we paste this whole thing inside here, because it is generating a random function with it, and same, we will copy and paste it 5 times. So as you can see, it is giving us random characters. Every time I refresh, it gives me a random characters, and I want this one. And because I'm writing this one time I'm copying pasting, but here I am running a for loop. Let's assume it is right now it is 50 only. It is nothing. It is 15. So this loop is running 15 times and doing this same thing and printing this character for me 15 times. So I get a character 15 times. Also, if I want to change any character name, so honestly const, okay, not const, let name equals to Krishna. and I want to change A to anything U. So what I can do is name index of that thing 6 equals to U. So and when I print this name, sorry, U, it is not changing directly, but we will. Okay, wait. So this one is adding to this character, or we can also do simply using array, but we will use right now. Wait a second. This will become very large. So the password is use. The password equals to use character. We will generate that random thing over here. So I got the random number here and copying and pasting it here with, and we can replace this whole thing with here. So let's print what I'm getting here. Console.log password and remove these logs. Okay, let it be. So I input 10, I added lowercase and uppercase, generate print. So it is okay. So use character is not defined. Okay, because it is name, it name is this one. Yes. So you can see this was what I want because I selected uppercase and lowercase. It has 52 total. The length of it is 52, and it generated because I input 10, so it generated tx r z and everything like it is 10. Now if I generated I want 100, then it will generate 100 character. Let me clear it. We want all like this time we want a simple password with 12 letters and which will include everything. So it generated 5tu0 everything with this was random, so I want some symbols, more symbols, so it generated a password with more symbols. So now this is getting one by one, but we want everything inside the whole password thing. So how can we do that? What if we use this should make this p, simply p, and p index I equals to password. So let's see if we get a password or not. And then symbol. So we didn't get anything because this directly didn't modify the whole array. So we will try to, okay, we can make password bot. So these are all the, what I say, these are all the methods and everything of that string. So now we will make this one here, and it's generating a random word, and we are not getting anything in this password thing. So we will try to do it. Random index and password equals to character set. Okay, so password can use directly like this also. That will password plus equals here. You can see it here. Console.log Krishna. Okay, sorry. Const name equals to Krishna. And what if I do name plus equals, let name equals A. And you can see it added an extra A there. We did more and it is adding it to the end of it, because it actually what it means is name equals to name plus this extra variable that we want to add. So what we will do here is simply add a plus here, or like this that we used earlier, or we can simply add like this: password equals to password plus this random character, and this will run 10 times. If user input 10, then it will make a long string with 10. So right now this should generate us our password and store it in the password variable. And now we will go to this one. Now this one is the password box that should show us the password, and this one is the password box dot inner text that we are setting hello when we click it. It is setting to hello, but we want it to print our actual password. So we will change it to our password that we defined here and updated here. So it should generate a password, I guess, right now. If we added a symbol, if we added a number, then generate password. Like you can see it is generating random passwords. If I want uppercase, if I want lowercase, it is generating everything for me. But it has a drawback right now, because what if I generate password that nothing is clicked, like only this is clicked, but it isn't generating because I never entered anything. What if I want to show user a message, like if we click on generate password and this is not filled or this is not filled, then it should show a pop-up alert saying you should fill it, or you haven't filled this one, or you have to fill it. So let's add a condition here. Yes, so we are getting all the values or the it is checked or not here. So we can add a simple condition. If has number, okay, if it don't have number. So what it means, like it is adding like if has number, like if it is true, then run this. But we want if it isn't true, like if it is false, then run this one. So what it is doing is adding a negative market here. Like I can show const a equals to 5, and we are const b equals to b equals we add a what I say equals to 5. No, true. Now we want to check it in the if statement. If true, if a can run console dot log hello, and it is printing hello because this is true. And what if I added false? If it is false, it is not running it. But I want if it is false, then I want to run it. So what I will do is add an exclamation mark here. So now you can see it run and print the hello word. I remove the exclamation, it won't run. I added the exclamation, it will run, because now it will become true. As you can show you something, like if you add this console.log, then a, you can see it is false, and I added an exclamation before false, so it made it true. What this will do is opposite it, like if it is true, then make it false. So same thing I did here. If has no number, if it has, okay, so if the password, if it has no password length, so alert, please enter a password length. So, and also I will add a return. TUR. What return do is finish the function here only. So if we return here, then the function got finished. So it won't execute anything near anything below it. So let's try. Now this is empty. It shouldn't generate password. It said key password. Please enter a password length. So now I entered the password length and uppercase and lowercase symbols to generate password. It generated the password. So we can remove this high because we don't need to try. So I guess it don't have any errors right now. We can check it. It is generating a random password. with what I said? So anyone of you have any difficulties or any doubts?
Feel free to ask guys. Interact करो, तभी तो फील आएगा ना जावास्क्रिप्ट पढ़ने का.
जावास्क्रिप्ट का या HTML का या CSS का या किसी भी चीज का डाउट है तो एक बार पूछ लो. अभी हम यहीं पे थोड़ी देर.
अच्छा गाइस, जितने भी ऑडियंस में लोग हो, जिसको जिसको आज का सेशन पूरा समझ में आया, सबको हैंड रेज करो जरा. आज का मजा आया, एंटरटेनिंग लगा और समझ में आया? गाइस एवरीवन.
हमको भी बहुत मजा आया, लिटरली हम भी सुन रहे थे बैठ के.
अगर सब लोगों ने सुना होगा ना, तो आज का जो सेशन था, जो अमान ने लिया या कृष्णा ने लिया, काफी नॉलेजेबल था. अगर ढंग से सुना होगा तो ढंग से समझ भी आया होगा. कोई भी डाउट हो तो पूछो गाइस, फील फ्री. क्लासेस नहीं है, भैया है हम लोग, सीनियर्स है. आराम से करो यार, कोई नहीं डांट रहा है यहाँ पर. किसी को नहीं आता जावास्क्रिप्ट ढंग से.
जावास्क्रिप्ट बहुत वियर्ड लैंग्वेज है, कुछ ज्यादा ही वियर्ड लैंग्वेज है. एक चीज दिखाते हैं. वियर्ड. हाँ, ये वाला साइट एक बार सब खोल के देखो और इसका सारा आंसर ट्राई करो. आज ये कोड वैसे गिटहब पर अपलोड होगा ना? हाँ भाई, हो जाएगा. एक्चुअली यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस जावास्क्रिप्ट एज टेम्पलेट. Dude, ये वाला जावास्क्रिप्ट का जो साइड वेज है वो एक बार खोलो और इस पे आई गेस 25 क्वेश्चंस होंगे, वो बनाने का ट्राई करो एक बार. भाई मजाक नहीं कर रहा. ये वाला खोल के अभी सब, ये वाला खोलो साइट अभी सब और एक बार ट्राई करो. 25 क्वेश्चन होगा आई गेस. हाँ 25 क्वेश्चन है और ट्राई करो कितना सही आंसर आता है उसका. बोलो हर्षित.
So guys, if you don't have any doubts, we can move forward. Okay. So the repo link will be shared by Archit. Archit, please share the repo link of this project. Mikul, do you have any doubt?
You can see in the chat box.
Mikul and Shaunak Shaha, do you have any doubt? If you have, anyone have any doubt, you can raise your hands. No issues.
अच्छा,
Could you go over that? Wait, रुक जाओ, बता देता हूँ. इसको काटो, इसको भी हटा. ये देख, इधर देख, स्टार्टिंग का ये वाला हो गया अपना डिफाइनिंग वाला पार्ट. ये डिफाइन कर रहा है कि HTML5 है और इसका कोई काम नहीं है, बस नहीं डिफाइन कर रहा है कि HTML5 है और HTML5 यूज कर रहा है. और अपना इधर देख, HTML अपना इधर से स्टार्ट हुआ, इधर पे एंड हुआ. उसके बाद HTML के अंदर अपना मेन चीज आया हेड के अंदर में अपना एक टाइटल है और एक लिंक टैग है. लिंक जो कि CSS को लिंक कर रहा है, अपना CSS वाला फाइल जो कि इधर पे style.css, उस पे href करके लिंक कर दिया उसका. और ये टाइटल अपना, ये वाला टाइटल जो ऊपर पे लिखा हुआ होगा, ये जो ऊपर है पासवर्ड जनरेटर लिखा हुआ है वो. और अगर आइकन वाइकन ऐड करना है यहाँ पे, जैसे ये आइकन बना हुआ है तो उसके लिए अपना एक फैब आइकन वाला हो. एक और बहुत सारा टैग है. तो फैब आइकन करके होगा या लिंक फैब आइकन करके होगा. लिंक लिखना, देखो ये वाला फाइल आइकन है यहाँ, तो ये वाला मतलब फाइल का नाम है, बट ये वाला फाइल तुमको ये वाला फोटो इधर पे डालना पड़ेगा तब काम करेगा. वैसे W3 स्कूल पे अप्रॉक्सीमेट सारा टैग के बारे में बताया हुआ है, तो एक बार देख लेना उस पर. इधर पे W3 स्कूल पे और HTML, इस पे सारे टैग और सारे एट्रीब्यूट और ये सब क्या होता है सब बताया हुआ है इधर, तो एक बार देख लियो. बाकी इधर अपना बॉडी आ गया.
W3 schools link, कृष्णा, वो लिंक शेयर कर दो इधर.
कृष्णा, HTML, CSS, JavaScript के कुछ अच्छे रिसोर्सेज शेयर कर दो लिंक में.
मेरे पास जितना, हम अभी कर देंगे थोड़ी देर में, जितना भी होगा मेरे पास.
हाँ ठीक है श्योर.
और अभी अपना यहाँ पे आओ बॉडी। देखो ये वाला जो हेड वाला पार्ट है ना, वो अपना यहाँ तक है, ये वाला अपना हेड हो गया। और फिर अपना बॉडी हो गया इस वाले वाइट एरिया से एंड वाला वाइट एरिया। उसके अंदर देखो एक डिव है जिसका नाम है कंटेनर, और ये सब नाम अपने से रख सकते हो जो मन वो, मतलब मेरा लिखा हुआ बस। तो जैसे वो प्रीतम दिया है, तो ये जो प्रीतम नाम लिखा है तो वो उसका नाम है, तुम कुछ भी लिख सकते हो। और ये क्लास जो है एक एट्रीब्यूट हो गया शायद, और ये टैग के अंदर का, जिसमें तुम डिफाइन कर सकते हो कि उसका उसका यूज क्या है या उसका कुछ नाम क्या। और सेम चीज आईडी, आईडी इक्वल्स टू भी इधर कुछ भी डाल सकते हो, क्योंकि इधर पे जैसे आईडी यूज किया हुआ है, उधर क्लास यूज किया हुआ है। तो थोड़ा सा बस डिफरेंस रहेगा कि जब भी क्लास यूज करोगे तो यहाँ पे डॉट आएगा, जब भी आईडी यूज करोगे तो ये हैश करके यहाँ पे लिखना पड़ेगा। जैसे हैश आईडी का नाम इंक्लूड नंबर है, तो आई गेस होता है हैश और ऐसे करके होता है एडिट, और क्लास में ये डॉट से होता है। और अगर डायरेक्ट टैग यूज कर रहे हो तो पूरा टैग का नाम डायरेक्ट, जैसे अगर डिव है तो सिंपल एक डिव, और डिव के अंदर में जो चेंजेस करना है तो ये ग्लोबली जितना भी डिव है सबको चेंज कर देगा। बाकी ये अपना हो गया एक H1 टैग। H1 मतलब हेडिंग 1, हेडिंग 1 सबसे बड़ा होता है, तो अपना ये वाला हेडिंग इधर प्रिंट कर दिया। फिर एक अपना डिव, ये इनपुट्स वाला डिव है जो कि यहाँ तक होगा, ये वाला से लेकर यहाँ तक, सॉरी इस वाले से लेकर यहाँ तक का एक डिव है। और ये वाला एक हो गया डिव, और एक ये वाला अपना हो गया। तो इस वाले के अंदर में सारा इनपुट है। और इनपुट में देखो टाइप का मतलब कि इनपुट का टाइप क्या है, ये वाला चेक बॉक्स था टिक मारने वाला, इसीलिए इधर पे चेक बॉक्स लिखा हुआ। और ये इन आईडी तो हो गया, क्योंकि मेरे को इधर जावास्क्रिप्ट में यहाँ पे ये गेट एलिमेंट बाय आईडी करना था। गेट एलिमेंट बाय क्लास करते ना तो वो एरे टाइप का देता है, तो थोड़ा दिक्कत था, तो इसीलिए आईडी लिखे। और ये लेबल जो है उसका, उसके नाम के बगल वाला। और ये वाला जो चीज़ है, ये नेम इक्वल्स टू इंक्लूड नेम्स और फॉर इंक्लूड नेम्स, ये बस इसीलिए यूज हो रहा है ना, क्योंकि देखो ये दोनों में तो कोई रिलेशन है नहीं, इस वाले और इस वाले में। बट हम इधर क्लिक कर रहे हैं तो भी ये क्लिक और अनचेक और चेक हो रहा है। वो हो रहा है इसीलिए बिकॉज, क्योंकि इधर पे हम नेम लिखे हैं और फॉर लेबल फॉर ये दोनों सेम है, इसीलिए हो रहा है। मतलब ये वाला अपना डिफरेंट रह सकता है, बट ये वाला नेम और ये वाला फॉर अगर सेम रहा तो ये वाला चेक बॉक्स इससे भी काम करेगा। अब अगर ये वाला चेक बॉक्स हम इस पे कर देंगे कॉपी पेस्ट, तो ये वाला पे क्लिक करने से वो वाला क्लिक होगा। तो सेम चीज़ वही 4 बार कॉपी पेस्ट है, चेक बॉक्स ये है, सबका आईडी नाम बस चेंज है। और अपना यहाँ पे ये अपना हो गया पासवर्ड लेंथ, इसमें टाइप नंबर दे दिए बिकॉज लेंथ का नंबर में ले रहे हैं, और क्या है। और सेम चीज में भी नेम कर दिए और लेबल कर दिए कि हम इस पे भी, जैसे हम इस पे क्लिक कर रहे हैं तो भी देखो इस वाले पे हाईलाइट ले रहा है। जैसे अभी कहीं पे नहीं इधर क्लिक किए, वो इधर ले लिया ना, इधर पे हाई फोकस, बिकॉज ये इसको पता है फिलहाल कि ये वाला जो है इसके लिए एग्जैक्टली, इसीलिए ये कहाँ गया अपना नेम और ये फॉर वाला चीज लिखा हुआ है। बाकी एक सिंपल सा बटन है, बटन के अंदर क्लास है जनरेट बटन जो कि CSS में यूज कर रहे हैं। और ये ऑन क्लिक फंक्शन है जो कि जनरेट पासवर्ड फंक्शन को इन्वोक कर रहा है, लाइक वो उसको बता रहा है कि ये वाला फंक्शन रन करना है। और सेम वाला फंक्शन हम लोग इधर पे लिखे, ये जनरेट पासवर्ड फंक्शन, जो कि यहाँ पूरा एंड तक वही वाला फंक्शन है। ये पूरा एक ही फंक्शन है जनरेट पासवर्ड फंक्शन। और क्योंकि इसको रन करना है मेरे को, इसीलिए हम इस वाले बटन में ऑन क्लिक इक्वल टू जनरेट पासवर्ड को इन्वोक कर दिया सीधा। तो जब भी इस पे क्लिक होगा, ये ऑन क्लिक है मतलब कि जब भी क्लिक होगा तो ये वाला फंक्शन रन करेगा। ये हो गया बटन का नाम। और ये एक एम्प्टी टैग दे दिए थे जो कि यहाँ पे हम स्टोर कर रहे हैं पासवर्ड का साइज, और यहाँ पे पासवर्ड भी तो आएगा ना, तो उस पासवर्ड का के लिए भी एक जगह चाहिए। तो ये वाला जो पूरा पी टैग है, ये बस हम उसी के लिए छोड़ दें खाली फिलहाल, जो कि हम अपना जावास्क्रिप्ट से यहाँ पे वही वाला पासवर्ड वाला जो था उसी को चेंज कर रहे हैं अभी इधर पे। यहाँ पे हम पासवर्ड वाला टैग लिए और उसका वैल्यू चेंज करके अपना ओरिजिनल पासवर्ड कर दे रहे हैं जब भी ये बटन क्लिक हो रहा है। और CSS तो इजी है फिर। और कोई दिक्कत है? 9/25 भाई बहुत आ गया, वो ऐसे भी बहुत अजीब साइट है, जावास्क्रिप्ट में बहुत कुछ अजीब अजीब हो जाता है।
So guys, generate PR in the repo which is shared by Archit. So 18th October 11:59 PM will be the last date till your PR will be reviewed. So over to you, Isha. Make the further announcements.
Yeah. So now comes another interesting part of this event. So the task is to develop this project as much as possible in terms of all features and styling. The most creative completed project will be awarded LinkedIn Premium account. So as you all know, the worth of LinkedIn in today's world. So guys, don't wait, hurry up, go grab this opportunity to get free LinkedIn Premium instead of paying. Over to you, Archit.
Hello guys, am I audible?
No.
Yes,
कौन बोला no भाई?
Davar, he is audible.
He's audible.
Okay, so कल के सेशन से रिलेटेड कोई डाउट्स? यहाँ पर कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने कल का सेशन अटेंड नहीं करा था और आज का सेशन अटेंड कर रहे हैं? 1. No, Divya, you don't have to develop this password generator, but like CSS और JavaScript में like कुछ चेंजेस करके कि इस प्रोजेक्ट को और कैसे अच्छा मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं, कैसे अच्छा बना सकते हैं, तो you have to make those changes and make a pull request. और web team will review that changes और जिसका भी बेस्ट होगा उसको LinkedIn Premium as a award मिलेगा. आर्यमन बीच में छोड़ दिया था. ओके, बस 2 लोग हैं ऐसे जिन्होंने कल का सेशन नहीं अटेंड किया था, और भी हैं. ओके, सो मैं जस्ट दे देता हूँ कल के सेशन में क्या हुआ था. फर्स्टली वी टॉक्ड अबाउट ओपन सोर्स, कि व्हाट ओपन सोर्स इज. देन आई टुक द सेशन ऑन गिट एंड गिटहब एंड टोल्ड यू ऑल अबाउट व्हाट गिट एंड गिटहब इज, कैसे वर्क करता है, some cool facts, cool repositories, about the commands. Then there was a fun quiz, and after that Preetham took the HTML session. So अगर किसी का रह गया था तो recordings will be available, don't worry. Recordings हर्षित कब तक आ जाएंगी?
I guess by tomorrow or the day after
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, every participant will receive the recordings. So now you can ask your doubts, if any, from today's or the yesterday's session. Any doubts, anyone? Unmute कर सकते हो, बोलो. Interactive
Last
रखते
day
हैं इसको.
to last day to review the project will be 18th October till 11:59 p.m.
GitHub desktop. दिव्या रिकॉर्डिंग्स आ जाएंगी तो एक बार देख लेना. अगर फिर भी कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो अभी लास्ट में सबके सोशल हैंडल शेयर हो जाएंगे. यू कैन आस्क देयर आल्सो. सो लगता है कोई डाउट नहीं है.
So guys, I am dropping social media handles of the MSc members who are present here. You can connect with them and ask your doubts.
Okay. Aman,
Archit.
have you told them about the Flexbox Froggy game of CSS?
नहीं तुम बता दो लोग आप, मेरा इंटरनेट अभी
मैं बता देता हूँ.
तो चला नहीं रहा.
So guys, CSS में जैसे हमारे फ्लेक्सबॉक्स वाली चीज बताई होगी, फ्लेक्स क्रिएट करना. So एक साइट है. Wait a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो एक साइट है flexboxfroggy.com. मैं चैट बॉक्स में डाल देता हूँ ये साइट. तो इस साइट में लाइक फ्लेक्सबॉक्स के जितनी भी प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं तो इसको एज अ गेम, देयर आर 25 लेवल्स, 24 और 25 लेवल्स. तो इसको एज अ गेम इस फ्रॉग को हम लोग को इस लीफ तक पहुंचाना होता है. तो लाइक ऊपर लिखा भी हुआ है कि जस्टिफाई कंटेंट वाली प्रॉपर्टीज होगी और ये सब इसके एट्रीब्यूट्स होते हैं. तो लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई राइट ओवर हियर जस्टिफाई कंटेंट एंड फ्लेक्स एंड, तो ये फ्रॉग इस लीफ तक पहुंच गया तो ये फर्स्ट लेवल कंप्लीट हो गई. सिमिलरली इसमें बहुत सारी लेवल्स हैं, अलग अलग चीजें हैं. लाइक इधर दो फ्रॉग्स हैं. तो सेम विल डू जस्टिफाई कंटेंट और इसको हम लोग कहाँ पे लेके जाना है, सेंटर पे. तो विल राइट हियर सेंटर, तो सेंटर पे आ गए. ऐसे बहुत सारी levels है इसमें जिससे you can learn the flexbox by reading this documentation plus by doing this writing these commands. So just try this. फिर कोई issues आए अगर तो पूछ लेना.
Guys, CSS is something that you don't learn in 1 or 2 days. It takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. Okay. So you should better practice a lot of CSS to improve your skills. Okay. So this website will help you a lot. So do check it out. Okay.
और कोई अमान गेम हो तो मतलब और कोई रिसोर्सेज या गेम टाइप से सीखने वाली चीजें सो ड्रॉप इन द चैट बॉक्स. सो हर्षित, आई गेस नो मोर डाउट्स. So should we conclude?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Over to you, Isha.
Yeah. So now we come to an end of the event. Thanks everyone for joining. We hope that you got to learn something from here. All the best for your open source future endeavors. We'll be back again with insightful events in future. Till then, stay tuned, stay updated, and don't forget to follow our social media handles. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope to
Thank you,
see you guys super soon in the upcoming events.